There's a window every year when the animals you're after stop being careful. Bucks and bulls that spent all summer being ghosts, moving at night, holding tight to cover, giving nothing away, suddenly start making mistakes in broad daylight. They're not stupid. They're just running on a different clock. That window is the rut, and knowing when each animal hits it is one of the more useful things you can carry into the field. Elk go first. Here's something worth understanding about why the rut happens when it does. It's not triggered by temperature, it's triggered by light. As days shorten through late summer, something shifts inside a cow elk. Her body detects the changing ratio of daylight to darkness and starts a chain reaction that eventually brings her into estrus. The bull doesn't decide when the rut starts. The cow does. He's responding to her. That's why you can predict the rut with a calendar rather than a thermometer, and why it hits within the same window every single year, regardless of whether it's been a warm fall or a cold one. The whole system is tuned so that calves hit the ground in spring, when conditions give them the best chance of survival. Nature ran that math a long time ago. What most hunters don't know is that high elevation herds in Wyoming and Colorado can start bugling as early as late August. Above tree line, the pre-rut fires up before September even starts. The peak hits September 15th through 25th, which is why most Western archery seasons are scheduled exactly when they are. Bulls are bugling, wallowing, moving in daylight, and sometimes making decisions they'll regret. Calling works during this window. Cow calls mostly. A challenge bugle can educate the wrong bull at the wrong time. Then late September hits and the whole mountain goes quiet. The post-rut is a different hunt entirely. Bulls have stopped calling, patterns shift back to feed and water, and the tactics that worked 2 weeks ago will get you nothing. If you're looking at a late October elk tag, go in with your eyes open. You're not hunting the bugle like it's mid-September. Pronghorn are earlier than most hunters expect, and there's a distinction worth knowing. Bucks start gathering does into harems in early to mid-August. You'll see buck behavior that looks like the rut, chasing, posturing, holding does together, but the does aren't cycling yet. That's the gathering phase, not peak rut. The real window, when decoys and calls produce hard charges, is mid to late September into early October. A second cycle can push into mid-October as well. If you draw an August archery tag expecting the chaos of peak rut and walk into something quieter, that's why. The bucks are busy, but it's not the same gear. Mule deer come last, and elevation is the variable most hunters overlook. Same trigger as elk, shortening days, not dropping temperatures. As daylight shrinks, melatonin rises, and that hormonal shift brings does into estrus. Latitude layers on top of that. The further north you are, the earlier the photoperiod tips the scale, which is why a Wyoming buck at high elevation can be rutting in mid-October, while a buck in southern Utah is still weeks away from peak. Fawns need to hit the ground in spring just like elk calves do. The calendar is set by survival, not coincidence. Wyoming bucks can rut anywhere from mid-October through early December, depending on how high you're hunting. Utah and Colorado typically peak around mid-November, the common thread across all of it. During peak rut, big bucks that were completely nocturnal all summer start moving at all hours. Morning, midday, last light, it doesn't matter. They're covering ground. That's the reason late rifle and muzzle loader seasons in western states are scheduled when they are. You're not just picking a weather preference between a September tag and a November one. You're deciding whether you want to hunt a rested, cautious buck or one that's forgotten to be careful. 3 animals, 3 different windows. Build your season calendar around them and you're hunting smarter before you ever leave the lazy boy. The gold is there. Go find it. Find your vein. TheTagProspector.com.